here's my review from my friends at Volvo in Sweden in Swedish.
Bra, men kunde vara lite bättre.
Yep. All right, before we get going, let's cold start the EV. All right, so we got the GT fired up and we're going to be going to McLaren in Palo Alto for Cars and Coffee. It's right next to the Volvo dealer, which is also involved in this Cars and Coffee, and they have two new electric cars. I think we're going to be seeing the EX30, the cute little very fast car, almost as fast as my car, and we're also going to be seeing the EX90, pretty hot stuff. So let's get going. Oh, and by the way, we're here with my co-pilot, Josh. Say hi, Josh. All right, cool. All right, here we go. All right, so you've joined me from the inside of a car with Josh. Let's guess what it is. It is the new Volvo EX90. Still a prototype, not released because the ADAS and LiDAR software still doesn't work yet. But here is the beautiful interior. We've been asked not to sit in the back seat, so we can sit in these front luxurious, interesting denim covered seats, and this really cool Scandinavian wood interior. We've been asked not to sit in the back seat, and we've been asked not to touch the screen, so I will marvel at the screen and the Google Maps here that seemingly doesn't seem to work, I don't think, but I think it thinks it's in I don't know, Sweden somewhere, and it's like I don't have any offline maps, so it's blank.
Also,
but
1, 2, 3 Google Assistant.
Yeah, that's a good observation, Josh. There's, I think, 3 Google Assistants here. I know that they were looking to get some growth for the Assistant, so I think that's the new strategy for Android Automotive is just to put as many clown-colored Assistant microphones everywhere and hope that you'll think it's a clown car and you'll press one of them inadvertently. So I think some of the materials in here are just really interesting. Look at this material here, Josh. Isn't this cool? It feels like an interesting texture. All kind of like an off-white, very Scandinavian minimalist. And then we've got some imitation pleather here from an imitation Scandinavian elk, I believe. Maybe a plastic elk. Or maybe it's probably like a soy-based elk. Probably not a petroleum elk in any way. And then we've got this beautiful like wood. It's probably imitation wood, I don't know, but it's very eco, I'm sure. I'm sure they planted another very white tree to replace this wood. Cool, let me show you the outside of this car. The car's finished in a like a gray, not a matte gray, but kind of a battleship color. And it's got very cool take on the Volvo lighting treatment that's usually in the back of these cars. Door handles go flush. Let's look in the front of this thing. Of course, this Volvo has this really cool lighting treatment. This light motorizes out and the headlights come from back of it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there you go. It kind of winks and the lights go on. All right, go for it. Oh, isn't that cool? You like that, Aiden? All right, then the other treat that Volvo has for this Cars and Coffee is the EX30, also a prototype, just kind of announced recently by Volvo. Very fast times, 0 to 60. I think it's about 3.4 seconds, and really inexpensive starting price. I think in the mid 30s to about 45. So pretty cool looking car. I will say that this is a pretty cool car, but the proportions really don't come through on pictures. It is quite a small car. I'd say in the US, it's probably the size of a Chevy Bolt. So the rear space is kind of compromised, but I'd say the rest of the interior seems pretty roomy. So let's go check it out. All right, so we're inside the EX30 with the house beats going here. And Josh, you say this is cool, huh? Yeah, the door handles look cool. What they did with the doors is they specifically made them as simple as possible to cut costs. So you'll notice there's no electronics on the doors, right? So there's no controls on the doors. The controls for locking and for the windows are actually in the middle of the car for the doors. And I would say the first ding that this car gets is they did not learn from our abysmal UI in our Volkswagen ID4, where they have a capacitive touch rear button and they have these window switches doing double duty as the front and back window switches. So this would make me not buy this car just alone. That is so bad in my ID4 of not having window switches for the front and the back. Invariably, you always open or close the wrong window and you feel dumb doing it. So again, I can't touch this screen. It's a smaller screen definitely than the EX90, but I guess that's to be expected. Really kind of a cool texture here as well, Josh, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of a pebble-ish type of thing. Almost looks like a laminate kitchen counter that you'd find in a rental house. So kind of cool, but again, feels a little bit cost conscious. I guess that's to be expected. You can also see here, instead of the Bowers and Wilkins, it has a Harman Kardon stereo, and they made the whole kind of front dashboard here a speaker, or look like a speaker. Back seems to be very nice room in the back, I'd say. Yeah, Josh?
The
windows are in there for the back, yeah. So they put everything in the middle there so they can run the wiring loom in the middle of the car to save cost. But I'd say the back is pretty nice. The room is pretty good, of course, because it's an EV from the ground up and an EV platform. Doesn't have a middle center transmission tunnel, there being no transmission. Very airy cabin, definitely, because it has a glass roof over almost substantially the entire of the vehicle. And unlike the new Polestar coming out sometime in the future, there is a rear window, not a virtual one, a real one. But let's see how that cargo space is in the back, because I think that's where this car has the compromises and maybe makes it not too great for the US market. Okay, be careful there, Josh, not to hit that guy, hit the doors. Always got to have some considerations when your son is in a one-of-one prototype in the US. Okay, let's go check out the back of this car here. All right, Josh, you want to do the honors of figuring out how to open the back? Oh, he's still looking. How do you open this? Ah, it's the button right here. Press that. Nope. Yes, there you go. So I thought it was. All right, actually, this is bigger than I thought it would be. It does have a parcel shelf, you're right. But actually a bigger back, honestly, than I thought it would be. Certainly not something where you're going to put in even a kid's bicycle, but not as bad as I thought it would be. Definitely kind of bolt size, I would think. What do you think, Josh?
I think it's a pretty good.
Yeah? Kind of a toy car, huh? All right, so I gotta say, like, after seeing the UI and the interior, both beautiful interior in the XC90 as I went over, or the EX90, sorry, you know, I think some of the materials are really beautiful. So here's like, here it's like wood, you see the wood green, and as it goes down, it goes, oh, more steampunk. Look at this. Oh, and it almost looks like a reptilian scale here. So it's almost like they had a reptile tree they took it from. Pretty cool. But I'd say the interior parts, not so happy about. So look at this. Look at these buttons. They're not actual buttons. They're capacitive. What are they doing? Why can't auto manufacturers learn? This is not the future I want. I don't want this future. There's a reason buttons exist, and it's so that I can press them while driving and not have to look down to see if I'm turning the stereo on or off or hitting my cruise control buttons. Silly, not the future I want. It's like the Cybertruck of buttons. All right, I don't want it. Now look at this. Look, not a glove box button on the glove box. There's a button on the screen. Why do I have to hit this in order to hit the glove box? You know, the next time I have one of these cars and I get pulled over and the officer goes like, your license and registration, please. I go, here's my license, but I can't open the glove box. I don't know how to get my registration out, officer. It's the software. The software doesn't work yet. Gotta wait for the next version. You should need to have software in order to open your glove box, right, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the EX30 even worse. So not only does it have the bad habits on the steering wheel, it also has bad habits for the window controls. It's ID4 window controls. We're getting rid of our ID4 because of the window buttons. I can't stand it when I need to roll down my window to take a ticket at a parking garage, and instead of getting the toll of the ticket, I roll down my back windows because the buttons, there's only 2 window buttons and then they have a toggle and you don't know which direction or which place the toggle is in. You got to look down. Anything you have to look down to see the state of button or where the button is before you press it, bad. All right, now we're getting into the good stuff. Now we're getting into more supercar land. We're moving from the Sweden part of the world to like the UK. So let's check out the McLarens and other various hypercar things going on here. Very purple Audi. Ah, V10 bra. V10 bra. His license plate says. Look at how it goes from like light blue to dark blue. It's got to be hand painted. Got to be hand painted. Look at that fade. It's awesome. The coolest part of the 750 compared with the 720s is the back. Look at the exhaust output on this. Look at the exhaust exit is right there. It's so cool. All exposed radiators. Roll cage. Love the spec on this. Gorgeous. All right, now this is a pretty nice showroom. I don't see a Senna. That's my one disappointment here is I do not see any Sennas. All right, let's go turn this camera around here and show you what's going on here. So here's a 765 LT. So this is kind of a track-focused mid-range McLaren. So it's also a Spider. So see a lot of carbon on it.
Mm-hmm.
This has also got a really cool exit in the back. It's got four actually. Four exhausts, look at this. Yeah, wow, that's got to be a wrap, I bet. That is definitely definitely an experience. I think we have someone that's into Grogo. It's definitely a Grogo fan. Definitely kind of Grogo themed car. And we've got the child on the hood over here, and we also got the child on the inside a little bit, little mascot there, and an extra 5 horsepower in this spec. So this is a 570 GT, but I bet this is a wrap. Yeah, quite a color. Definitely my favorite themed car so far. It doesn't look like Mando is driving it though. I thought we would have Mando driving it. I wonder if it has a shiny silver ball inside. All right, well that was kind of a fun quick tour. McLaren San Francisco and Palo Alto, and the Volvo dealer next door hosting a Cars and Coffee, especially where you could see the EX30 and the EX90. Thanks to them for letting me do a quick preview of those two cars. What do you think of those two? Would you buy one? Let me know in the comments. And in the meanwhile, take your car for a fun drive today. Do something fun with it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.